Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 12th of October 1975, and the title is Inspirations to Finish All Complaints and to Become Complete. Do you have the firm practice of being incorporeal and beyond the consciousness of the body, of stabilizing in soul consciousness, and of observing your own part and the part of others as a detached observer? Like the Father, do you constantly have the stage of a detached observer in your consciousness? Unless you constantly have the consciousness of a detached observer, you cannot make Bapdada your companion. The experience of the stage of a detached observer enables you to experience the companionship of the Father. You consider yourself to be God's friend, do you not? That is, as you have made Bapdada your closest friend, haven't you? Have you made Baba the conqueror of your heart? Do you experience wanting to share the secrets of your heart with anyone other than the Father, even in your thoughts? If you experience the happiness of all relationships with the one Father, and you have the experience of attainment of the love of all relationships, then your intellect cannot be drawn to any other relationship. The intellect should be totally absorbed in all relationships with the Father at every breath and every thought. Many children still complain that they have many waste thoughts and that they are not able to link their intellect with the Father, that even against their conscious wish, their intellect becomes attached to something or another, or that the responsibility of their household does not allow the yoga of their intellect to become stable. The connections and atmosphere of the old world make your attitude mischievous. Then you are not able to make as much effort as you would like to, or you are not able to take a high jump. Throughout the day, Bapdada receives many such complaints. Although you call yourselves Master Almighty authorities, you are being compelled by your own sanskars and nature. When Bapdada hears of such things, he is amused, but he also has mercy. Since you are not able to erase your own sanskars or nature, how could you erase the tamopradhan, devilish sanskars of the whole world? How can a soul who is under the influence of his own sanskars liberate all souls who are under an external influence? How would you remove the distress of others when you are being upset by your own sanskars? What is the easy yukti to become free from such sanskars? Before you perform any action, sanskars first emerge in your thoughts. I will do this. It should be like this. What does this one think? Even I know how to do everything. Sanskars emerge with thoughts of this type. At the time when you know that your sanskars are showing their form in your thoughts, then instill the habit or practice of first of all checking your thoughts and seeing whether they are like those of the Father. Before an important person accepts anything, he first of all has it checked. For example, the food of a president. An important person or a king would first be checked before being accepted by that person. Before something is accepted by such people, they first have it checked to see that nothing impure is mixed with it. What are those important people compared to you? Those important people will not even be able to set foot in your kingdom. In fact, even now, they are to fall at your feet, since you are becoming the kings of kings and are called the most elevated souls of the world. The food for the intellect of you elevated souls, in the form of thoughts, should first of all be checked. When you accept something without checking it, you are deceived. Therefore, first of all, check every thought, just as you use an instrument to measure whether something is real or whether something is mixed with it, whether it is real gold or rolled gold. In the same way, check whether your thoughts are the same as the Father's or not. Check on this basis and then speak or act. It is when you forget the foundation that sanskars of Shudras and of poison become mixed. When food has poison mixed into it, that food can make someone unconscious. In the same way, the presence of a trace of a Shudra becomes mixed into your food or diet of thoughts, and you then become unconscious to the remembrance and power of the Father. So consider yourself to be a special soul and become your own checker. Do you understand? Stay in your pride of being a special soul and you will not be distressed. Acha, this is a yukti to finish your sanskars. If you constantly remain busy in this task and constantly stabilize yourself in the awareness of being a holy swan, you would easily be able to distinguish between pure and impure, between a Shudra and a Brahmin. And because the intellect is busy in this task, it will become free from the complaints of having waste thoughts. Secondly, throughout the day, you are not able to experience the happiness of all relationships with the Father according to the time. This experience of the gopis and pandavas has been remembered. You have not yet had the experience of the happiness of all relationships with the Father and of remaining absorbed, that is, of being merged in the love of all relationships with the Father. You experience the happiness of the special relationships of the Father and Teacher, but you have very little experience of the attainment of the happiness of all relationships. Therefore, in whichever relationship you have not experienced happiness, attachment in the intellect is pulled by those relationships with others, and that attachment for a soul or the intellect's love for another becomes an obstacle. So throughout the day, experience different relationships. If at this time you do not experience the happiness of all relationships with the Father, you will remain deprived of the attainment of complete happiness and sweetness of all relationships. If you do not have this happiness at this time, when would you experience it? You will have relationships with souls throughout the kalpa. But if you do not experience all relationships with the Father at this time, you would never experience them. So keep yourself busy day and night in the happiness of all relationships. By constantly staying in this happiness, all other relationships will appear to be without any strength or sweetness. Then the intellect will be able to stabilize itself in one place. Its wandering will stop, and you will constantly continue to swing in the swing of happiness. By creating such a stage, you will automatically and easily become an intense effort maker. All complaints will finish and you will become complete. Do you understand the response to your complaints? Acha. To those who constantly swing in the swing of supersensuous joy, to those who constantly fulfill the responsibility of all relationships with the Father, to the friends of God, Khuda Dost, who consider themselves to be a detached observers and the companions of the Father, constantly engaged in godly service, to the children who are equal to the Father, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. You become happy when you listen to this, but when it comes to fulfilling this responsibility, some of you are compelled by your sanskars. Since you experience so much happiness in just listening, how much happiness would you experience in becoming the form? At this time, everyone's face is smiling. So constantly remain smiling in this way, and you will save your own time and also the time of instrument souls. At present, the 25% of your time that is spent in falling and getting up, in looking after your own self, or in fixing your intellect in one place, will be saved and accumulated in your income. Now learn how to save. Do you understand? Personal meeting. Who will swing with Krishna in the new world? Swinging is very enjoyable. The part of the one who pushes the swing is completely separate. Those who stay with the Father from the beginning of their life till the end, that is, those who have had the yoga of the intellect with the Father, to have been with the sakar form is a master of your luck. But while being with the sakar, those who have constantly had their intellect connected from the beginning to the end are the ones who will be with Krishna at every stage of life in the various parts. They will be together in childhood, they will study together, they will be together in playing and also in ruling the kingdom. Those who constantly stay with the Father here will remain in company there. Just as that first soul will have happiness and intoxication, in the same way, the souls who remain with the Father now will have the same happiness and intoxication. Those who become equal to the Father at this time will have similar intoxication there. And so, to remain with the Father in all forms is also a special part. The basis of being with Krishna in your childhood, youth, and old age is constantly to be in the company of the Father here from the beginning through the middle till the end. This is very enjoyable, is it not? Those who have been with the Father from the beginning will be with Him through the 84 births, while doing bhakti, while becoming the temporary kings, and in performing any type of part. They will constantly have a relationship in one form or another. They will begin bhakti together, they will ascend together, and come down together. So the foundation of fulfilling the company at this time becomes the basis of being together throughout the kalpa. Acha, blessing, by detaching yourself from the costume of the body in 1 second, may you become one complete with all powers, who attains victory over the suffering of karma. When the suffering of karma is in force, the physical organs, because of the suffering of karma, pull you towards themselves. That is, at the time when there is a lot of pain, only those who are able to change the suffering of karma into karma yoga, only those detached observers who accept the consequences through the physical senses can be called complete with all powers, the victorious jewels who are part of the eight. For this, you need to have the practice over a long period of time of detaching yourself from the costume of the body. Your costume should not be too tight due to the attraction of the world or of Maya. That is, there should be no pull, for only then will you be able to remove it easily. Slogan: step away from this land of sorrow, and no waves of sorrow will come to you. Om Shanti.